I don't think we could say that people wanted us to have a wind turbine, and that was a cause of concern for us because we had moved recently into the area. Their objections were on the ground, so they thought it was going to be noisy, and it clearly isn't. They were concerned about the impact it would have on the local wildlife. I think we had one particularly novel objection from a lady who was worried about the impact it'd have on the foxes. Which
and she said it would keep it might hurt their hearing and hurt the hedgehogs' hearing.
Yes.
And I would caution anyone about the planning aspects, which are lengthy and quite difficult. We're going to go and see a proven 6 kilowatt wind turbine on a 15-metre mast, so that's nearly 60 foot tall.
Okay, lead on.
The beast outputs up to 6.5 kilowatts of electricity when the wind's really going, when it's about sort of 18 to 20 miles an hour. But obviously it doesn't make electricity all of the time, so sometimes I import electricity from the grid and other times I am an exporter. One needs specialist contractors. I had to have a few diggers down the garden. And then the actual turbine itself was a huge effort for people to get down. I had to sort of drag it in different components. And also obviously you need to be a qualified electrical engineer to actually assemble the stuff in the end and commission the inverter. And the inverter is the thing that takes the DC electricity from the turbine and converts it and syncs it with the grid, putting out AC that's safe for everybody to use.
It's great. It's the best thing we've done because it will, longer term, it will pay for itself. So, you know, we haven't gone into this thinking we were going to make money out of it. It has produced exactly what, luckily, we thought it was going to produce. And it's a fantastic thing to have. It's a fantastic talking point. Well, you've now set up a website, which we would have really valued at the time, because it's, you know, it's a minefield. It is good to be able to produce your own electricity.
I mean, and it does mean the house is significantly close to being carbon neutral.
Indeed.
Another sort of half of the turbine operation is the inverter and obviously the control box, and here you can see obviously the voltage and the current output. That's showing the number of kilowatt hours per day for the last month.
And each kilowatt hour represents?
Yeah, so that first day was 20 kilowatt hours, and probably our peak was 25 output on any 24.
How much money did you make out of 25?
I would imagine we would be making around £3.70, £3.80 for that 24-hour period.
On a windy day, you're looking at £3.
Yeah, no, on a proper windy day in the winter, you might make £10 in a day, because you might sort of be doing 80, 90, 100 kilowatt hours.
So you're making 10p a unit?
10 to 12, and then we get something called the Renewable Obligation Certificate on top, the ROC, which you get for each megawatt produced. Do you remember the difficulties of actually getting ROC accreditation?
Yes. Oh, well, we're set up as the Horsted...
Yes, the Horsted wind farm, and we had to go through some of the same constraints that a new power station coming online, coal-powered power station coming online would have. So we had to get a G83 certificate of compliance, and we had to register ourselves with Ofgem and I think some European institutions. And it really is ridiculous, you know, the level of hoops you have to go through to actually get £80, £90 a year.
We got a grant, didn't we, for 5,000 towards it, and I think overall we probably had to put in another 14,000.
14, 15. So I'd say 20,000.
Yeah, and it's definitely, people ask us, you know, is it a money-spinning project? Absolutely not. I mean, we went into it, luckily, with quite realistic figures in mind about what it would generate. And in fact, it has done exactly what we thought, which is probably produced about 3/5 of what we use each year. And we kind of say it's probably a 20-25 year project before you've paid for it. So you wouldn't do it for the money necessarily, but as energy prices rise...
That's with the current energy price. If there's a higher price on carbon, then we could significantly achieve some savings.
We are in a position that we can do something positive for the environment.
What I would stress to people considering is to obviously do the other things we've done first.
Yes.
We've had all of our windows replaced with sort of grade A efficiency windows. We've got a wood-burning stove, which provides an awful lot of our heating, a 97% efficiency condensing boiler, and we've had the cavity walls in the loft massively insulated.
And that's made a big difference.
That's the first step, a very important step that people should do before they embark on a wind turbine.
Yes.